Good morning to everybody. I am Sridhar, Assistant Professor, Government First Aid College, Kola. Today, I am going to discuss deadbeat galvanometer. When current is passed through a galvanometer, the coil of the galvanometer oscillates about its mean position before it comes to rest. To bring the coil rest immediately, the coil is wound on a metallic frame. The coil is wound on a metallic frame. Now, when the coil oscillates, eddy currents are set up in the metallic frame which opposes further oscillations of the coil. Therefore, the coil comes to rest immediately. This in turn enables its further equilibrium position almost instantaneously. Since the oscillations of the coil die out instantaneously, the galvanometer is called deadbeat galvanometer. So, while deriving the expression for charge flowing through the galvanometer, that is Q is equal to C divided by NAB, T divided by 2 pi into theta. Say that is C is couple per unit twist, N is the number of turns in the coil, A is called as area of the coil, B is called strength of the magnetic field, again T is the period, theta is the throw, which is called as oscillation. It was assumed that the entire kinetic energy is used in twisting the suspension wire. Here, we are assuming that the entire kinetic energy is used in twisting the suspension wire, but this is not true. That means the part of the kinetic energy is utilized to overcome the air resistance or EMF induced in the coil due to eddy currents also, due to which the amplitude of oscillation decreases progressively. This is called damping. Here from this figure it is clear that theta 1, theta 3, theta 5, so on, etc. are the oscillations on one side, theta 2, theta 4, theta 6, etc. are the oscillations on opposite side. Here that is theta 1, theta 3, theta 5 with the first, second, third, etc. successive throws on one side, and theta 2, theta 4, theta 6 with the first, second, third, etc. with successive throws on opposite side as shown in the figure. So experimentally it is shown that the ratio of the successive deflections is a constant. Theta 1 by theta 2 is a ratio of successive deflection is equal to theta 2 by theta 3 is equal to theta 3 by theta 4 is equal to constant. That constant is equal to what? Decrement, which is denoted by small d. Here logarithmic of that decrement small d is called as logarithmic decrement, that is lambda. That is log d to base c is equal to lambda. This lambda is called what? Logarithmic decrement, which can also be written as d is equal to e to the power of lambda. Here lambda is equal to log d to base c, that is equal to log of theta 1 by theta 2 base e, because d is equal to what? Theta 1 by theta 2, ratio of throws or oscillation, successive oscillations. Comparing the above two equations, we will get theta 1 by theta 2 is equal to theta 2 by theta 3 is equal to theta 3 by theta 4 is equal to e to the power of lambda. This is for one complete oscillation. Theta 1 by theta 2 is equal to theta 2 by theta 3 is equal to theta 3 by theta 4, that is equal to what? D square, that is equal to e to the power of 2 lambda for one complete oscillation. Next, e to the power of 2 lambda is the decrement for one complete oscillation. E to the power of lambda by 2 is the decrement for 1/4 of the oscillation. If theta naught is the first correct deflection and theta 1 is the first observed deflection, then first correct deflection theta naught is equal to theta 1 times e to the power of lambda by 2. Expanding, we get theta naught is equal to theta 1 into 1 plus lambda by 2 plus so on. So here theta naught is equal to theta 1 into 1 plus lambda by 2 for small lambda. Replacing theta by theta naught, that is in the equation Q is equal to C divided by NAB, T divided by 2 pi, we are replacing theta by theta naught. But theta naught is equal to what? Theta 1 into 1 plus lambda by 2. So thus the effect of damping in BG is corrected. Logarithmic decrement can be calculated by observing first 11 successive swings. That is, logarithmic decrement can be calculated by observing first 11 successive throws or swings. That is, theta 1 by theta 2 is equal to theta 2 by theta 3 is equal to theta 3 by theta 4, so on. That is, theta 10 by theta 11 is equal to decrement, that is equal to what? E to the power of 11. You multiply the successive throws, that is ratio of the successive throws, theta 1 by theta 2 into theta 2 by theta 3 into theta 3 by theta 4 into so on theta 10 by theta 11, that is equal to what? D power 10, that is equal to e to the power of 10 lambda. Here theta 2 cancel, theta 3 cancel, remaining is theta 1 by theta 11, that is equal to what? E to the power of 10 lambda. Taking log on both sides, that is log 10 is equal to log theta 1 by theta 11 base E. This can also be written as lambda is equal to 1 by 10 log theta 1 by theta 11 base E. Here you convert to base E to base 10, you have to multiply it by 2.303. Therefore, lambda is equal to 2.303 by 10 log theta 1 by theta 11 base 10. In general, this is for 11 successive throws. In general, for n successive swings, lambda is equal to 2.303 by n log theta 1 by theta n plus 1 base 10. Next is determination of high resistance by leakage using ballistic galvanometer. So this is the circuit diagram to determine high resistance by leakage by using ballistic galvanometer. Say this is the capacitance of capacitor C is connected in parallel with the resistance capital, or that is high resistance. Here this is the key K1, this is battery, that is source of potential V0. Here this is the two-way key, that is K3, again this is the K2, this is K4, this is ballistic galvanometer. See, the circuit diagram is used to measure the high resistance by leakage is as shown in the figure. See, initially the key K1 is closed, key K1 is closed by keeping K2 open. The terminals A and B of the two-way key K3 is connected. That is, two terminals A and B are connected. The capacitor C gets charged to a potential V when you close the key K1 and terminals AB by keeping K2 open. Now the terminals A and C of K3 are connected. That is, terminals A and C are connected. Then the capacitor gets discharged through a ballistic galvanometer BG. Note on the first throw theta naught. This throw theta naught is proportional to V naught. In the next part, the capacitor is again charged. Now the key K2 is closed and charge is allowed to leak through the high resistance R for the known time t. That means the corresponding deflection is theta naught. That means theta 1 is the deflection corresponding to what? When the capacitor gets discharged through the high resistance R, which is proportional to what? V1. Therefore, V naught is proportional to theta naught when the capacitor gets discharged through the ballistic galvanometer. V1 is proportional to theta 1 when the capacitor gets discharged through the high resistance. Here, V naught by V1 is equal to theta naught by theta 1. The value of high resistance is given by capital R is equal to T divided by 2.303 C log V naught by V1 to base 10, which can also be written as R is equal to T divided by 2.303 C log theta naught by theta 1 base 10, because V naught by V1 can be written as what? Theta naught by theta 1. Knowing the values of T and C, we can calculate high resistance by leakage, that is capital R. Thank you.